I'm here on top of Little Round Top, which is a strategic point on the Union line. It's high ground on the left flank of the Union line and much contested on the second day of the battle. But I want to introduce you to this monument, which I find to be one of the most curious and most poignant on the battlefield. This is Colonel Patrick O'Rourke. And you notice that his nose is very shiny on this particular monument. Patrick O'Rourke was a West Pointer, graduated first in his class. He was commander here of the 140th New York Infantry. And on the second day of the battle, as the Confederates were starting to come up Little Round Top, the Union was rushing in reinforcements to push them off the hill. And Colonel Patrick O'Rourke's unit came up over this hill, charged into the Confederates without even having their muskets loaded yet, and pushed the Texas Brigade back down the hill, or a few Texas regiments back down the hill. Now, the more famous action here on Little Round Top is the one that's portrayed in the movie. It's in the book The Killer Angels. That's on the downside of the hill, and that's the 20th Maine Infantry under Colonel Joshua Chamberlain. Chamberlain was a professor of rhetoric at Bowdoin College in Maine before the war. And so after the war and during the war, he writes a lot of his remembrances. The key is that he survives the war. Patrick O'Rourke stands on a boulder here, leading his troops down over the hill into those Texas regiments, and is killed at that moment. Patrick O'Rourke, again, another Irishman, immortalized here in this monument put up by his regiment. But now visitors to the battlefield come here and they rub his nose for ostensibly good luck. It wasn't good luck for Patrick O'Rourke. But the thing that always stands out to me about this monument is that those who survive tend to write the history. And sometimes those who do great work are forgotten. Most people have never heard of Patrick O'Rourke, and yet I would argue, as do many historians, that his action here on Little Round Top was as important, if not more so, than that of Colonel Chamberlain's on the backside of the hill. One gets the press, one gets forgotten. And it reminds me of one of those things that happens to us too. We want to live our lives with impact, we want to be remembered forever, but in reality, most people who do great things are forgotten. They don't make the papers, no one really writes about them. Sometimes they get ignominiously forgotten and misunderstood. The point is that we continue to do our duty regardless. We continue to follow Christ no matter what. I heard a quote the other day that really stood out to me, and it was an instruction to preachers. It said, be born, preach the gospel, die forgotten. That's what happens to most of us. It's a reminder that living an ordinary life, and even if you never get in the spotlight, as you deal with adversity, as you deal with what God has called you to do, it doesn't matter whether you're famous to others. What matters is that you're famous to God. What matters is that you do what it takes to advance the kingdom toward its victory. Patrick O'Rourke certainly did that for the Union Army here on top of Little Round Top. We can do it too when we are invested in the mission more than in getting credit for doing it. It's a great lesson. We'll talk about that more here today.